Hey everybody, welcome to Matt Men, your source for all things professional wrestling. I'm Andrew Zarin. I'm joined by the opening day boy himself, Rich Stembo.
I am the opening day boy. I'm gonna watch from home. I'm gonna set up a charcoal grill in my living room.
Oh, nice.
And just make hot dogs.
Like a carbon monoxide poisoning?
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah.
That's how we do it.
Local Flushing man today was found deceased. It'll be on the Citizen app. Yeah, found deceased during opening day.
Fell out his window.
The Mets are at home today.
Very excited.
You know what? 3 o'clock start. I don't like that. I like a 1 p.m. opening day.
We're early boys.
3 p.m. is too late for an opening day start.
I don't mind it. I like. I'm an early baseball fan. Very rare that I go to a 7 o'clock game.
Oh yeah, I like the morning games.
You know, Give me a 1:10 start. Perfect.
Yeah. A lot of pro wrestling to talk about. AEW Dynasty coming up this weekend. Wrestlemania is near, a couple of weeks away from Wrestlemania. I want to talk about that because there's a lot of conversation regarding the ticket sales for WrestleMania being bad this year.
Bad in what regard?
That it's lower than last year.
Okay.
But, you know, there's a little holiday on that weekend called Easter.
Yeah.
That most likely is playing a part in this.
NBA playoffs, WrestleMania, Greek Easter, Catholic Easter.
Yeah. Yeah, regular Easter, Greek Easter at the same time.
Everything is on the same day.
Yeah.
And 420.
And that's my anniversary.
Yeah, there you go.
My 20th anniversary.
Congratulations.
Isn't that crazy?
That is really wild. Yeah.
Well, you and Vicky have been together for like 40 years.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
45.
45 years. Same years as Bob's been a ticket holder. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about this. You want to go into the news?
Yeah, let's go into the news. Right up the top.
Yeah.
So, apparently you want to go into
You set me up for this. You set me up.
The latest on the max numbers affecting the overall viewership of AEW. This is according to an SE Scoops article by BJ Bethel. AEW is averaging 500,000 viewers.
On max. Now, I spoke about this on... I think we spoke about this on Beyond the Bell a little bit, and we also spoke about it. I spoke about it with Garrett this week, but I wanted to touch on this because Tony made a comment about this during the Dynasty media call. Tony didn't deny the report. Of course, why would he deny it? That's a ridiculous number. But he said that he doesn't get weekly numbers from Max, and also people within Turner do not get those numbers. Okay,
right.
So I have spoken to a lot of people. Actually, I got a great story about somebody that I was out with on Wednesday night.
Oh yeah,
somebody that is on that side of things.
Interesting.
I had to carry this man.
Oh, it was one of those?
Out of Del Frisco's.
Oh, no.
Okay?
Yeah. I find it funny that you get put into that position a lot with a lot of these folks.
Yeah. I just come to the rescue, dude.
Mm-hmm.
What do you need? I'll get you in an Uber. I'll get you back home to your wife in Jersey. I had an interesting discussion. I mean, I'm making a joke there. I mean, kind of I am. It's actually all true. Mm-hmm. But I was talking to people from the WBD side, and really, like, nobody's heard of this number. They didn't deny it. Same as Tony. They said they don't deny the number because they don't know the number. So it's possible it's true. My biggest problem is, how is this being measured?
Right.
Like, so on cable, they're getting 670 or 660,000 viewers. What did they get this week? I didn't see the numbers last week, MJ, if you could put that in for Dynamite. But they're getting about 670. I was always under the impression they're maybe getting about 10 to 20% of that on Max.
Okay.
500,000. I mean, and this was a live +1. So this is live and the 24 hours from the point of release.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So I guess it's like midnight to midnight, you know?
Okay.
Is it possible? Sure. But what are your metrics? Are your metrics like, I was consulted by one of the streaming companies years ago that we were on.
Yeah.
Okay. And they wanted me to help them build their analytics and how to sell it. Okay. And they were giving me insane analytic numbers. Like, our top program, let's say top program, is garnering 3.5 million uniques.
Right.
A stream. And I'm like, that doesn't sound right. Well, what was happening is that every time it would buffer, or every time it would pause, or every time you come back to it, it would calculate it again. So it really wasn't a unique number.
You'd be getting counted maybe like 6 or 7 times.
6 or 7 times.
Okay.
I don't know if this is the case with this, but what it seems like is that he was provided the average. Again, I have no reason to doubt BJ's report, okay?
Right.
It's very highly possible that he is correct in all of this, and he had this properly done, and the people that I'm speaking to have no clue. Sometimes you get information like this, and it's very small. Like, when I had the collision info, there were people within WBD that had not heard about this, including from sales. Mm-hmm. When we had the TV rights negotiation window and the numbers, a lot of people did not know this. So it depends on who's talking to who. I would imagine that the sales team would be jumping for joy if their digital product was garnering about the exact same number as their television product was garnering. That also is indicative of how there's been a pivotal shift to streaming from linear.
Yes.
We're not there. So I have to also look at what other properties are doing.
Right.
And other properties are not getting these kind of viewers. It's just not happening.
Yeah.
So with that said, I mean, it's very possible they got 500,000 views. I don't know if those views mean how it's being calculated.
Right. That's interesting. That's very tricky.
He took the watch minutes, 60 million watch minutes, and he split it up.
Okay.
And that's how he came up with it. But I don't know. Again, I have no idea. So Tony is not denying it. Of course. Why in the world would he deny this? Because that's like the best gift that could be handed to him is this crazy high number. I'm curious if there's ever any more information. I'm willing to bet that we're not going to get anything else. Like, I have spoken to some key people. They've never heard of these.
Until it's quantified accurately or properly or what the method of quantification is.
You know what I got a lot of? Yeah, sure, it's possible. Yeah. I don't know. It's possible.
Right.
Like, they're not going to tell me no, but it wasn't like, oh, yeah. And this is how we calculate that.
Well, also the thing, when you're watching on Max, you're locked in, right? So, like, for example, if the Knicks game is on, for me personally, and AEW's on at the same time, I'll flip between both.
Yeah.
Right? But if I'm watching on Max, you can't flip the channel. You're stuck on.
I'm going to stop you right there.
Go.
I got an interesting request to maybe do an interview during WrestleMania.
All right, there we go.
Okay. Yeah. Can I show you?
Yeah,
who?
please. Let's do it.
100%.
Let's do it.
100%.
We have to set it up properly this time, though.
I think everybody knows how to do streaming now.
You sure?
Yeah.
I think
they know.
The last couple of times it was very discombobulated, but not on our end.
Do you know how we fucking did that? They sent a satellite uplink to us.
Yeah.
And then they sent us an audio uplink. Mm-hmm. And then we were sending them our video on a laptop. It was the most insane thing I've ever done. It never worked. I'm like, dude, can you just call?
We never posted that last
We never did. It was so bad. It was a good
my buddy?
Yeah, your buddy, yeah.
Yeah, it was your buddy.
Nice.
During a media call ahead of Dynamite, the Dynasty, Tony didn't deny the report, but said he doesn't get weekly numbers from Max like he does with Nielsen. Yes, because you buy into Nielsen to get those numbers. You know?
Yeah.
It's pretty self-explanatory there. Other things from the media call, when asked about Sting, look what he wrote.
Yeah.
Stained. Aaron Lewis from Stained is inducting Lex Luger.
Stained.
When asked about Sting inducting Lex Luger into the Hall of Fame, he said he spoke to Sting in March, but the subject never came. Okay.
Now, is he under contract? Is Sting under like a Legends deal?
I think he has something with them.
Okay.
I think he still has something
like
with
maybe
them.
For figures or some shit
yeah,
like that. Right?
Yeah. Okay. When asked about Chris Jericho versus Bandito not being on the card as of yet, but it is.
Yeah.
It is on the card now. He said there were a few days, but Bandito never accepted the challenge in regards to the spiked bat spot Moxley took against Cope. Is that how Cope is spelling it?
I think that's a Gonzo. I think that's a Gonzo spelling.
He's like doing the AOL like capital lowercase.
C.
Lowercase O.
Lowercase O. P-E. That's how he should spell it. C-O-P-E. And then he does some fucking nutty shit.
I was obsessively spelling out Jeff Jarrett the other day, like over and over again.
Just like in a few
yeah.
Like the Aviator, showing all the blueprints like that.
Yeah,
and you're just like J-A-A-A.
I was just saying it over and over again. And my wife's like, what the fuck are you saying? And I'm like, oh, Jeff Jarrett, let me show you him. And I told the whole story about
Let me show you him.
Let me show you him. He was a sexy Nashville singer.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was his gimmick.
That was his gimmick when he started, right? That's so wild.
Yeah.
So in regards to the spike bat spot that Moxley took against Cope, he called it a hardcore moment.
Yeah.
And put over how tough they are. That was a very I think that was the most hardcore moment of the year.
Again,
I know, it's not for you.
He did say that, his audience, he looks at the numbers and he looks at the analytics, and his audience loves this.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
But many do. Like, I'm not against blood. I think blood should be done in wrestling. Like, and again, who am I to say what you should do? I'm just saying I enjoy watching it.
Do you prefer the skewer spot better than the bat spot?
I think because I had like that little like Japanese wrestling fetish from the 90s growing up, I think the skewer spot's okay. I don't like the glass. I don't like glass.
I'm not a big glass guy.
I'm not a glass. I don't want the glass. Tariffs.
Oh, by the way, guys, this is our last show. We're being heavily tariffed.
Yeah, dude. There's a tariff on us now. He imposed a huge tariff on us.
We can't export Matman anymore.
I can import Matman. I can't export it.
Can't export. Imports and no exports.
I'm in the importing and exporting business. Art Van Delay. He's in latex.
Bring it back. Bring it back to Seinfeld.
Yeah. I want to. That's the new episode. The tariffs affect them. Kramer and George get into this kooky plan to import and export.
Yeah.
Right. And they're doing something bizarre. And here comes a tariff on the exact thing, and George just blew through all of his money.
Well, you need to bring back the Cubans for that, I think.
Yeah, the Cubans have to be involved.
So you need the cigars because now you can go to Cuba. So like this is what Kramer's been waiting for.
Yeah. This is what he's been waiting for this whole life. He brought up Bandito, and then he brought up the spike bat. Did you like the spike bat?
I didn't mind it. Like, I have no. Like you said, there's certain things in wrestling where I'm just like, not for me, and glass is definitely one of them, like a fluorescent thing, or just like crushing a bunch of glass and falling into it.
I don't like that.
Not for me.
The thumbtacks. You like the thumbtacks?
Oh, big fan of thumbtacks.
You know what? I hate the Legos.
Because you know how much you know how much more
as
that
a dad,
probably hurts. Yeah.
As a dad.
Stepping on Legos all day.
Dude, that is the worst spot you could ever do. Like, I would rather take like a New Jack
a New Jack
chair
dive.
shot rather than fall on the Legos. He said that his audience likes it, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Smash Machine is coming out.
Starring The Rock.
This is an A24 movie. This is about the life of Mark Kerr, the MMA fighter. It's coming out October 3rd. I'm curious about this because, to transform The Rock into Mark Kerr is something impressive.
Yeah.
I'm curious how he does it.
The trailer, the photos?
I did, the photos. He looks great. Yeah, he looks like him. It's crazy.
Now, people in the audience have been blowing up your jacket. Where'd you get your jacket from?
Yo. Where did I get? It's a starter jacket.
Starter jacket.
Yo, look at this. Look at this inside.
You got this year or last year?
I just got this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Did
you
you
know how much
get
I
it from
paid for this?
Homage?
This was the 225 one,
No,
right?
I don't know if it was Homage. Maybe it was. Yeah, it was like 280.
Yeah.
But it feels incredible.
Yeah.
It's
a beautiful jacket.
I don't like how it fits fully. I may get it taken in a little, but it's freaking awesome. Like this in October with a hoodie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah, forget it.
That's the only way you got to wear this. I love this jacket. I have a matching one from 1988 that my son is wearing now.
Very nice.
The same exact one. It's mine.
That's really
cool. Taylor wore it, and now she's like, actually they both fit into it, but
that's awesome.
Yeah.
You're gonna jump off the subway and go to the stadium, aren't you?
I'm so tempted, but I really have work to do. Maybe on the way back I'll stop and I'll peek my head in. Which they'll probably still be playing then.
Yeah,
so maybe. Miro was spotted at WWE headquarters. No surprise to anybody. We spoke about this.
Whenever I picture Miro, I imagine him not dressing like a normal person, but dressing like he dresses to the ring.
Always, yeah.
Just
Can
like
we call him
trunks,
Rusev again?
and that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna be Rusev again. Listen, I think he'll have a much different experience with this presentation. There's a lot of people he can work really
Lana
well
back?
with now.
Yeah,
Lana was not there, and as far as I know, there wasn't any conversation about Lana. But I hope so. They're back together.
How would you bring in Rusev?
Allegedly?
Yeah,
allegedly. Him and Cody. He comes out and murders Cody
night after WrestleMania.
Yeah,
He just
'Cause
comes
that's a
out
nice-
on the tank the night after WrestleMania.
or I don't think he's going to come after Cena.
No.
I think him and Cody would be a good story because that's, again, hey, I chased you.
Yeah.
I'm chasing you. Same with Punk. Like, I like that whole, like.
I have a feeling Rusev to NXT.
No way.
You don't think so?
Nope, no way.
I kind of feel like.
Too much.
Yeah?
Too much.
Okay.
Too much. I would love him there.
Yeah.
But who would he destroy?
Well, you got Ricky.
I know, but that hurts all of them.
You got Ethan.
That would hurt him.
You got Obafemi.
Oh,
I want to see him and
Obafemi.
Obafemi.
Yeah, he doesn't have to destroy anybody.
I want to see him pick Obafemi up.
Yeah. I want to see, like, I think NXT's good, especially after those Tony fumble chants from the other night.
Yeah.
Wild. Let's see. What else do we have here? So, what do you think? He's signing. He's coming back.
I think he's
coming back at the
signing,
Rumble.
yeah. I don't know when. After Mania, probably.
Night after Mania. All right.
But that would be great. I would
Yeah.
love that. I think he'd be he would fit in much better. And he had a very underrated run there. Because that match with Cena that he had when he came out on the tank, that guy was the biggest monster heel, like one of the top there.
He was very protected at one point.
That cuckolding angle killed him.
Yeah, he was super protected at one point, and then all of a sudden, this is where you're going.
Was it the cuckolding? Was the cuckolding angle the same as the lesbian angle with Lana and Liv?
Yes, it was. They were all.
It was the same
they all
program?
kind of intertwined.
But before-
Yeah.
And then she was banging Lashley.
Right.
And she was also
She was
banging Enzo.
Lashley. Well, that
No,
that
her-
had nothing to do with.
I know, but that was before. Because
I'm talking about storyline wise. Yes.
Yeah, no, that is storyline.
Yes.
Because remember, Enzo
I
was
want people to
walking
be
around.
sure. I want
Yeah,
people to be
Enzo-
sure we're talking storyline. We don't talk about personal stuff.
And she was also in something with Dolph Ziggler at that too.
Yeah, she was in
Remember
that
That
was the moment that we
stuff like
said she should have been bonked on the head.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's such a great how did no one present that?
Right.
Like, oh, she's the ravishing Russian,
Mm-hmm.
and then she gets hit on the head. And then you could even make it Vince McMahon wacky, where like Rusev is like a big fat fucking caveman, is bonking her on the head with something.
Fred Flintstone. Right?
And he's Fred Flintstone in her, and all of a sudden she's like back to being Russian.
I like this. Henry in the chat room says Rusev versus Starks versus Ethan Page versus Spears.
Thought that would be great.
That's a great.
Yeah, that's a great match.
four-way
Yeah.
for that U.S. title.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So Rich brought up this about him possibly coming out at the Rumble. When is it too early to start making Rumble predictions? Because
I think now. I think now.
No, never too early. Never too early. Never too early.
I think he slipped. I think he meant WrestleMania.
I'm coming out at the Rumble.
What would you do?
Wait.
What would you do? It's like 3, 2, 1. It's like number 26, and it's me.
Do we come out together or is it just
No,
individually?
you're there with me. You're there with me, and nobody knows who the fuck we are.
I've always wanted to do. I will put you on my shoulders like Bad Luck Fale.
Yeah, I would love
to
that.
walk you down to the ring.
That's how we come out. And I wear the title belt backwards. Like I do a whole thing like that. AEW versus WWE Saturday Night Competition is coming up. TNT's schedule recently revealed that Collision will not be airing against the first night of WrestleMania. Why would they?
Right, exactly.
Instead, they're broadcasting on Thursday, the 17th.
Cool.
Warner, Discovery, and AEW are monitoring the possibility of having less AEW and WWE competition on Saturdays in the future. Yes. So I had brought up a couple weeks ago that Warner's nobody's talking about like these ratings like social media is. Okay. Oh my God, it's bludgeoning. They're fine with it. They understand the landscape.
Yeah.
They have analytics that you know they're forecasting for the future. They're not forecasting for this week. And then I got a lot of comments like, well, if they're not worried about the ratings, why are they moving it? Because they're not idiots. They're not fools.
Right.
They know that if they could get a better number, that they're going to attempt it.
They're going to go for it.
And that's why they ran Collision after they split. I thought that was very unique. They split it into two different shows, and they both did decent in a very different time slot.
Mm-hmm.
Saturdays are a problem. They've always known that this is a problem. But with the NBA going away, the reality is Thursdays are open, and that would be a much better night.
Yeah, 100%.
Much, much better night for them. So we'll see what happens there. But they're also going to be running that 4-hour block twice.
Yeah.
In, I believe, June.
Great.
We'll see what happens there.
Big fan of that. I kind of want to go to this. AEW All In Texas. Start time revealed. Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor announced as well. All In Texas at the Globe Life Field in Arlington on July 12th. will have a special early start time at 3 p.m.
Why?
Why not?
Because I think there's an WWE show. But,
interesting.
But I don't.
Okay.
I think this is great because you're attracting your international viewership.
Yes,
because they'll tune in 3 p.m. on a Saturday.
A Saturday night's main event.
They're running a Saturday night's main event, but I don't necessarily feel that is the only reason. That's probably going to help them running this at 3 o'clock. But that's a fantastic time for this, and I agree. I think WrestleMania should start at 3.
Oh, yeah. Everything.
I think, or not even if it's not 3, do it at 6.
You want to see if we can go to this?
I'm trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
I don't. It's a weekend. It's a Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Get on a Friday.
Do Texas for 3 days. Not
Texas
bad.
Friday.
It's
Saturday,
an easy flight.
Sunday. It's a very easy flight.
Very easy flight. We can get direct.
Let's look at it.
Yeah.
Let's look at it.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be going away with Chauncey and Jess.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to go to Dominican Republic. He's sending me resorts.
Oh, nice.
So
where are you going? Punta Cana?
He wants to go to Punta Cana.
Yeah. That's fun.
I said I'm not doing another fucking cruise.
Oh, yeah.
I will never go on another cruise again. Those are nightmares.
It melted your brain.
It's disgusting.
It melted your brain.
I don't want to be on a vessel
Uh-huh.
with all the normal people.
You know how I know that you're not having a great time on a trip?
How? When you start
texting everybody.
Yeah. It was great. My kids had a great time.
Yeah.
For me, I think it's disgusting. I think it's filthy. I think the waters are dirty. I don't want to be there. I don't care if it's all inclusive. It's a cruise ship. How great could the food be?
Yeah.
I hate cruises. I feel trapped.
But you did get some nice family pictures out of it.
We got beautiful family pictures out of it. Yeah, that was the positive. NXT, Stephanie Vaquer has relinquished the NXT North American title, the women's North American title, in exchange for getting to pick her opponent at Stand and Deliver. They announced a 6-way ladder match to crown a new champion. Ricky Saint defeated Sean Spears in the main event to become the new North American champion. He would be attacked after the match by Ethan Page. So the last time they had a match, Ethan Page and Ricky Saints on AEW Dynamite, 11/22/22.
Listen, they blew the roof off the place.
They did, yeah. They did. Where do you want to go? You want to go into AEW?
Sure.
We got about 40 minutes.
Want to do Dynamite?
Yeah, let's do it.
Before the first match was announced that the Death Riders attacked Jay White, no longer in the Owen Cup. He's been replaced by Kevin Knight. Kevin Knight's a good signing that they have.
Kevin Knight is a good signing,
Yeah.
but I mean, I get Jay White's hurt, but you don't have anyone else that's more deserving.
Right. NYC Demon Diva in the chat room. Fight me, Zarian.
How are you Yankees? 3-3, huh?
She's
what
back.
are they doing? What are the Yankees playing?
I think you should go to Puerto Rico and confront her.
Oh, like ambush her?
On the beach.
4-2, the Yankees. Well, a beach blast.
Have a beach brawl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Swerve Strickland and Willow Nightingale.
You know what I'll do? One of these. Pah! The sand right in her face.
I thought you meant a martini.
Oh, dude, I definitely want to throw. You know what? That's what I want to do. There's nothing more in life that I want than to throw a martini in her face.
Just splash
like a dirty martini. Just how dare you?
And leave.
How dare you?
How dare you? Let's see. Swerve and Willow defeated Mox and Marina in a tornado tag.
That's what I'm gonna do to her, to Issa.
You're gonna tornado tag her?
I'm gonna death rider her. I'm gonna hit her with a DDT.
That was a fun match. What did you make of it?
You know what's funny? I was like kind of in and out during that match. Mm-hmm. It was a fun match, but when he hit Willow, not even it wasn't even the by mistake from Swerve to Marina.
Yeah.
But when he just hit her with that DDT, I was like, oh my God. I stopped. It was like a crime was committed.
Yes, exactly. I feel like that's always the fear. That's what you have to worry about. Conversely, they showed I want to say Chris Van Vliet had an interview with Penta.
Yeah.
And they asked him about like, oh, you're familiar with a lot of people that were in Lucha Underground. And he was like, yeah, I fought Chelsea Green.
Yeah.
I fought Io Sky.
Yeah. So good.
Timeless Tony Storm defeated Penelope Ford.
She's so good.
Yes. Renee Paquette is backstage and asked Swerve about any update on Willow. Swerve said she's strong and brave, which is why they don't have any problem facing the Death Riders. Yeah.
Can I stop you? Yeah. Look what she just wrote.
Who?
I'm not even naming her anymore. The one from Puerto Rico.
Oh, let me see. Ugly jacket. Issa, come on now. It's a beautiful jacket.
Yeah. Go love your Aaron Judge. Okay?
Is that really an insult?
Go to the Bronx to go watch baseball.
Go love your Aaron Judge.
Go to the Bronx.
Listen to those torpedo bats, man.
Dude, of course,
Dinger
the Yankees,
after
they cheat all the time. It's fine. I like the Yankees. I don't mind the Yankees, okay? Just not my team.
Yeah, I don't mind watching the Yankees.
I don't mind
Again,
watching the Yankees.
We're Mets guys.
They're fantastic.
Yeah, we're Mets guys. MVP and Lashley meet with MJF. MJF said Lashley had done a lot in his career, but this is AEW, so he's standing on the block that MJF built.
So I guess, we're eventually getting Lashley and MJF. Is that it all in?
I'd be into that.
Is that Double or Nothing?
I feel
Probably
like
Double or
as much as I like this segment, I felt like it was a little too much back and forth.
It was too much back and forth.
Yeah. Big Bill and Brian Keith defeated No Name Dudes. Lashley and MVP were on the ramp watching the whole thing because that's going to be what the tag that's going to be for the belts, right? Big Bill and Brian Keith versus Shelton and Lashley.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool. I'm into it.
Renee Paquette tells Mercedes she has a tag team match on Collision, and her partner is Harley Cameron. And then you see Minnie Monet, which I feel like they need to mass produce this effing puppet.
Dude, they would sell so much of that. I actually messaged someone about that.
Make the puppet.
I was like, can you guys make that freaking puppet? You can't commission that puppet?
Yeah, make the puppet. I think they also dropped the ball with, what was Matt Hardy's drone?
Oh,
Vanguard 1.
Yeah, they
Vanguard
could have
1.
made a mini Vanguard 1 replica.
They could have done it.
You know.
They could have done it. I'm shocked they don't have a Funko deal.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Well,
New Japan had that Bullet Club.
They had that because with the Bucks and Kenny and Cody had that specific deal for them with the Elite.
That was just them before even AEW was a thing.
Yeah.
Hold on, where is it? Got it here somewhere. I have Armenian Conan up there. I don't know. Did you see that?
Oh, awesome! Yeah.
Oh,
Got notes for Conor Orlock.
look what I got.
Pretty
Just
sweet.
got me this.
That's pretty awesome. And you got Mood up there too.
And yeah, my Muda. You want to see it?
Yeah.
Look at this.
You should do an unboxing. This is a rad figure. I gotta pick one up.
Yeah. You think they'll be worth something one day?
I don't know. You never know.
Like, how much can I get for my Danhausen? Probably a lot.
You know what? Honestly, that really depends.
Okay.
On what?
So I got an answer for why there's no AEW Funko Pops. So
Tell me.
This is according to Ethan Page's toy vlogs.
Okay.
WWE has an exclusive deal with Funko Pop to
For
be
wrestling.
the only wrestling.
Wow.
Oh, fascinating.
That explains it.
Let's see.
Where are we?
Will Ospreay and Kevin Knight defeated Blake Christian and Lee Johnson.
Okay.
They're
cool.
really blowing up Blake Christian too.
I kind of like him.
Yeah.
I like his attitude.
I like him too.
Yeah.
Brody King defeated Lance Archer with Don Callis. Cope defeated Claudio Castagnoli. Renee is backstage trying to interview Swerve. And you know, this is furthering a lot of back and forth. This is furthering the Moxley stuff. Now, do you think Mox drops to Swerve?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't. Because I'm just looking forward, right? Yeah. I mean, he can, because you have another pay-per-view in between.
Right.
Right? You got Double or Nothing, then you have All In. I definitely think you need a heel versus heel for that title, if it's Will Ospreay.
Okay.
If it's going to be Will Ospreay against whoever, it should be a really strong heel.
Yeah.
Swerve is very liked.
Yeah.
Really, the answer is Jon Moxley, and who dethrones this anti-AEW guy?
Right.
Will Ospreay.
Okay.
You know? So I still believe it's going to be Will Ospreay and him at All In.
And then come back to Swerve.
And you come back
Hangman.
to Swerve.
Yeah. All right.
I don't want them to tag them. You know what? We were talking about who could take the tag titles off of Lashley and Benjamin. Hangman and Swerve.
Hangman and Swerve. I think that would be great.
I don't want to see them tag.
Like we said the other day. I said it the other day. Have the Death Riders come out. They're about to murder Swerve. Hangman chases them off. Swerve gets the win. Hangman basically saying, like, if anybody's going to kick this guy's ass, it's going to be me.
Yeah.
And then you have like a little program, which I would love to see. You know, I feel like that would be a cool thing to see. But you never know.
Yeah.
You want to go into the WrestleMania report?
Yeah, let's do it.
WWE and Peacock announced WrestleMania 9.
Oh, hold on. Did we skip over everything?
We
did.
We ended.
Yeah.
Did we?
Yeah.
He apologized.
We ended
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Dang it. Where is it?
WrestleMania report.
There we
WWE
go.
and Peacock. There you go.
WWE and Peacock announced WrestleMania 9 becoming a spectacle documentary. It was announced today that a new documentary focused on WrestleMania 9. That's right, WrestleMania 9 will debut exclusively on Peacock on Friday, April 11th, titled WrestleMania 9 Becoming a Spectacle.
Yeah, they were filming this in 1993 for something that it was never used for.
Dude, they film everything.
Yeah.
It's insane. Like they've been putting out a lot of behind the scenes stuff from like pay-per-views from like 20 years ago.
Yeah, I like that stuff.
And I love it. Like I think they did Royal Rumble 2000 recently. It's like just 30 minutes of behind the scenes stuff. No, it doesn't go anywhere, but you know. Have you watched the Steph's Places?
I have not. I have no interest in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. The Punk one was short and sweet.
Okay.
Yeah, it was nice and easy. Didn't really give you much, you know, but basically like propaganda for Punk to be
Got
like,
it.
I love being home.
I
you
love
know?
it here. I love
Yeah.
it here. Until you don't.
So they're doing documentary footage behind the scenes from the 1993 WrestleMania. Did you like WrestleMania 9?
As a kid, yeah.
As a kid, yeah.
As a kid, I loved it because Hogan won. Bret Hart was in the main event. I was bummed out that Bret lost.
Yeah.
And Hogan comes in, and I was a Hogan kid. It's 1993. I'm 9 years old.
And this is Savage on commentary.
Savage on commentary. Heenan riding the camel backwards. Jim Ross's debut.
That was a classic moment.
I actually remember that show so well.
Same here. Tito Santana defeated Papa Shango.
Yeah, that was in the opener.
Tatanka beats...
I don't even think that was on the card. I think that was on the
pre-show.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Wasn't
let's
that
see how
the
much my
Caesar
memory
Palace
was.
one where they,
Tatanka...
It was.
they built
Yeah,
the
it was-
arena like from
Yeah, it was
scratch.
outside. Yeah.
Tatanka beats Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, but by
Via count out.
DQ. But via count out, and
Right.
Tatanka chased them out, and didn't Mr. Perfect get involved somehow?
I don't remember that. I think, and this is what always blew me away with this.
Oh, no, it was Hennig and Luger, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
What always blew me away with this is Shawn came out with Luna at this time.
Sean was coming out with Luna or
that's
Sherry?
right.
Luna.
Oh, yeah, and
Yeah.
Sherry switched sides.
Right. Which I always found fascinating.
That is fascinating.
Steiner Brothers defeated the Head Shrinkers.
Yeah.
Doink defeated Crush. Razor beat Bob Backlund. Money Inc. defeated the Megamaniacs.
Megamaniacs, and Hogan had the black eye.
Yep. By disqualification.
And the Megamaniacs, Brutus had the face mask to save his restored face from his jet skiing accident.
Luger beat Perfect. Taker beat Giant Gonzalez with Harvey Whippleman.
Yeah.
Yokozuna defeated Bret Hart, and then here comes Hogan.
Yeah, here comes Hogan.
Which you know what? When I was a kid, didn't see it coming.
Didn't either.
22 seconds.
I loved it.
Guy dropped a leg.
And then he did this in the end with his big black eye. And that was leading to SummerSlam, Hogan versus Bret Hart. And
Yeah.
it never happened because Hogan said, "My knees are not good, brother."
Yeah.
So, didn't happen.
One day I'll sell a beer, brother.
They even shot it where they're like tugging over the title, you know?
Let's see. Bret Hart on WrestleMania 13's match with Steve Austin. It was just magic. He said this on the Ariel Helwani
Fantastic match.
show. Just magic. I think what a cool way to get Bret and Steve on the show.
I think that's very cool.
Yeah.
You know, and the UFC does this. They have these historical moments, and this is just another thing to add. And you're eventually going to run out of people, you know?
See, I didn't know that. So what does
Incredible
UFC do?
people.
Do they do the same thing?
They do the same
Right.
thing. Yeah, they have like impactful moments to go into Hall of Fame.
And then they'll have the guys in
And
the
then they have
match.
the- yeah.
Like-
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's fascinating. Okay. See, I had no
Like
idea
historic
about
fights.
historic fights. Yeah.
that. Okay. Yeah, that's cool because like you kind of want to see what they're gonna do every year.
I'm curious about that. I think this is great. Listen,
Yeah.
it's a Hall of Fame. They're doing it at the Fountain Blue, which that is one of my favorite hotels.
Yeah,
hotels in Vegas.
What they
That's
need
a
to- Sorry.
go ahead.
What
No,
they
go
need
ahead.
to do is they need to finally announce like the UFC does. They have wings of the Hall of Fame. So like they have
Okay.
the Pioneer wing, the Modern wing, the Contributors wing, the Fight wing, and then
They have
the
legends. They do a legends category.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah.
But they
And
don't
they
put
had
a
the
lot of
celebrity
emphasis
wing.
on that. Yeah, it's like a bullshit thing.
Do you still want the physical building?
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. I don't want it to be just nothing. I
Mm-hmm.
don't like it being in the ring at SmackDown. I like it being like a whole presentation.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you travel it for the big 4 pay-per-views at whatever the the little events are at the convention centers.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, they kind of do that already with the WWE.
I know, but
World
you should have one at either the building in Connecticut or down at the Performance Center in Florida. Those are your two places to put it, and then travel it.
I would say physical building in Florida. Make it like a destination.
Yeah.
thing,
Do it
you
in
know?
Orlando.
That'd be kinda
Universal.
cool.
Whatever.
Right, yeah. This is the latest card for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
AJ Styles versus Logan Paul.
Great. That's going to be a banger.
Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens.
Fantastic.
Roman Reigns versus CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. Main
Awesome.
event night 1.
Yep. Great.
World's Women's Champion Io Sky defends against Bianca Belair. Apparently, Rhea Ripley will likely get added to this based on Monday's ending. Tiffany Stratton defends against Charlotte Flair for the WWE Women's Championship. World Heavyweight Champion Gunther defends against Jey Uso. And the undisputed WWE Champion Cody Rhodes defends against John Cena.
So
we are 2 weeks away.
Yeah, we still need tag title matches.
Mhm.
You need an IC title match. You need a US title match.
Mhm.
And whatever else. I think this is
You're
great.
probably getting a multi-women tag match of some kind.
I also believe that the NXT title should be on the line at WrestleMania.
Absolutely.
Because
That's a good one.
it's a great opportunity. Because think about it, there's probably going to be about 4 million or so people watching this.
Right.
Okay, this is our biggest show. Like last year, I forgot what the number was, but it was over 4 million viewers.
Yeah. Well,
why not have the NXT World Champion on this?
they're
So
probably
instead
going to
of
do the
featuring
Andre the Giant
Battle
Royal Andre the Giant.
Andre, yeah.
They'll probably have that
They've been
again.
doing that on SmackDown. They
Yeah.
haven't been doing it on.
Oh, yeah?
They don't. For whatever reason, they haven't been doing any matches on their pre-shows.
Let me tell you
Last,
something.
like, several
Everything has
years.
merged in my brain
Me too.
into
Yeah.
like mush.
It-
When you said that, I'm like,
inevitable.
what? Since when?
Mm.
Yeah. They need to round this out a little more
Yeah.
with like extra stuff. But I feel like, you know what? Like I have that WrestleMania excitement.
Yeah, dude, it's great. It's great. 2 nights. My kids will freaking love it. We'll hang out. It'll be nice. AEW Owen Hart Foundation tournament brackets have been revealed. The finals are going to take place at Double or Nothing. Here's what we have. Will Ospreay, Kevin Knight, Brody King, Takeshita, Mark Briscoe, Kyle Fletcher, Hangman Page versus a wild card. For the women's, Jamie Hayter, Billy Starks, Thunder Rosa, Chris Statlander, Mercedes Moné, Julia Hart, and Athena and Harley Cameron.
So Mercedes takes this?
I think so.
Yeah.
And because then she becomes the #1 contender and she faces Tony at All In, and that'll be a great match.
And what are we getting? Hangman and Will Ospreay for the final in the men's?
Are they on 2 different sides of the bracket? I think so, right? Yeah, actually, Will wins this.
Okay.
Will becomes a #1 contender, and he challenges at All In.
Great. That's how you get there.
Fantastic.
That's 2 awesome headline matches for that show too.
Yeah, that's great. AEW Collision tomorrow. Mercedes Moné and Harley Cameron against Athena and Julia Hart. Cash Wheeler versus Pac. Top Flight versus CRU, which is Action Andretti and Leo Rush. Speedball Mike Bailey versus Jarlistico with Ricochet on commentary.
Great.
All right. AEW Dynasty. Let's do our predictions.
All right, let's do it. Dynasty's this weekend, this Sunday,
Yeah.
and we'll be watching it. Will Ospreay versus Kevin Knight
Will Ospreay takes it.
in an Owen Hart Foundation opening round. Will Ospreay takes it. TBS champion Mercedes Moné versus Julia Hart in an Owen Hart Foundation opening round. Mercedes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hurt Syndicate versus Big Bill and Brian Keith. This is interesting. I feel like anything could happen, especially with the Jericho outcome. So if Jericho loses, I think Big Bill and Brian Keith don't come even close to those titles.
Okay.
What about you?
I think they're staying on Lashley. You need a believable team that's going to beat them. I love Big Bill and Brian Keith. They're fantastic, but not them.
Jericho versus Bandito in a title versus mask match, which means if Jericho loses, he loses his belt. If Bandito loses, that mask is gone.
Yeah.
And he might be a handsome boy.
He might be a handsome boy.
Might be a handsome boy. You never know what's under there.
Yeah.
And if he's handsome, they're taking that mask off.
Yeah, they're going to pull an Andrade with him.
Mm-hmm. The Death Riders, Claudio Castagnoli, Pac, and Wheeler Yuta versus Rated FTR, Cope, Dax, and Cash.
Okay, so
For the trios title.
this is giving me Andrade.
Why?
I think they're correcting course here.
Okay.
I mean, is the all-in match FTR versus Edge and Christian?
I would love that.
You know, is that the match? Because that's kind of what it feels. What it feels like to me is that they're going to pull a New Day. Dax and Cash are going to turn on him.
Turn on Cope.
Turn on Cope and say, you were the problem. You're dragging us down. Because remember, he married up with them when CM Punk left.
Right.
So, F you. You're not our guy. And here comes Christian to save him.
I would like that, but how do you get Christian involved?
I don't know. That's because this was done backwards.
Mm-hmm.
This should have happened. Like Edge and Christian should have had this, and then it should have been leading into the breakup.
Or does Cope turn on them?
Or does Cope turn on them?
Yeah.
Is Cope the one? I don't know. Curious about this.
Yeah.
I'm very curious about this.
Obviously, this match is going to be a banger.
Yeah, of course. Look who's in it. Oh, great.
Dana Garcia versus Adam Cole. No interference, no time limit for the TNT title.
Adam Cole should win this, and I have zero interest in it.
I agree with you, and I have minimal interest in it. I don't know why.
I don't either, because I like both of them.
Mm-hmm. Kenny Omega versus Speedball Mike Bailey versus Ricochet for the AEW International title. So, Kenny retains until he faces Okada at some point, right?
I want you to think of a visual.
Okay.
Close your eyes. Kenny Omega picking up Bobby Lashley for a one-winged angel.
Oh, I love it. Give me that all day. Give me that all day.
Yeah.
All day. Every day. I hope that happens at some point.
I don't know what happened. That would be that just a visual I can't see. I'm not allowed.
I'm not getting up there. Imagine.
No. It doesn't load up in my head. It starts
What
and it
allowed
tells
your
me.
brain to go there?
I was in the shower and I was thinking about it.
So does Kenny retain to face Okada?
Kenny has to
this
retain.
time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kenny retains.
I do kind of feel like Speedball might take it. You know, if he pins Ricochet, right? Because Kenny could lose. Kenny doesn't have to lose.
I would be shocked.
Yeah.
But where is Okada? Why is he not on this?
Exactly.
You gave him this huge deal.
Mm-hmm.
Why is he not on every pay-per-view?
Is he too amazing to be on?
I think
Is
it's
he
just
the whole show?
they don't have a place.
Yeah. Timeless Tony Storm versus, this is a stack card. Timeless Tony Storm versus Megan Bayne for the AEW women's title.
I hope this is a great match because I definitely think they need to create more top female talent like they did with Mariah May.
I agree with you.
I think if Megan Bayne has a great showing, which she very well could, this could kind of ignite something again here.
Yeah. And John Moxley versus Swerve for the AEW title.
I'm going to go with John Moxley retains.
I think this is going to be an effing bloody war.
Yeah, no. This is going to be bloody.
There could be a chance that this ends in a double DQ or double
So
count.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Does Hangman, did they foreshadow something on Dynasty or on Dynamite with Hangman? Is he getting involved in this?
I think there's going to be something there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I already gave you my Hangman scenario.
Okay.
Hangman fights off the Death Riders and saves Swerve for himself.
Yeah.
And then eventually within the next year you get the Swerve Hangman.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Tag team?
Well, also because Swerve said he deserved it, right?
Yeah.
So that was the whole thing. That was a major thing, right? So now the wheels are turning and how do you like heel Hangman?
I really like his character.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really like his character.
I don't even consider him a heel. I just consider him
He's
a
just whatever.
troubled person. Yeah.
He's a troubled boy.
Is he a tweener?
Yeah. I guess so.
Do you want to do questions?
Let's do questions.
All right, guys, submit your questions in the
Q&A
chat.
time.
It's Q&A time. If you have a super chat, we'll answer those first. And I see we got a couple already on board. I believe at the beginning of the show, we got a super chat here from QB. Very pertinent to what we just talked about. I rather Mox retaining than Swerve winning at Dynasty. I don't want another short title reign for Swerve and whoever wins the Owen. My pick is Ospreay.
Yeah, me too.
Is
I agree
winning
with
the
you.
title at all in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah. Well, Ospreay, I feel like all in Texas, you have Ospreay win the belt there.
What a big moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what else we got here. Fight Me Zarian, Ugly Jacket, already covered that. Joel Allison, AEW moved over 1K tickets for All In this week and have already opened hard cam tickets for the El Paso show. Are they out of their ticket slump?
I'm not going to say they're out of their ticket slump because let me see what they're at right now. I have the latest numbers here. I I don't think they moved 1,000 tickets in the last week. I'm looking at the latest update from March. Oh, this is March 23rd, so it's possible. That's the latest I have. They'll fill it up. I don't know how much. Are they going to have 20,000 there? I hope so. I think if they get to like 30, that's great.
Yeah.
I don't think they're hitting 30. I think if they get to like 24, 25, fantastic.
Still a great crowd.
Still a great crowd.
I think those smaller venues are helping too because it's piquing interest.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you right now. They're
announced
starting
that Masonic Temple.
They did announce the Masonic Temple. The Chesapeake Employers Insurance Arena. They have a show next week there on April 9th, and they are most likely going to beat the last time they were in that building, and that was Dynamite. This arena was Dynamite on 11/2/22, and they had 2,700 people in the building.
Okay,
so let's see. Time in 2023 they had 4,600 people in the in the arena. So I guess we'll see what happens, but I do think that their tickets are starting to get a little bit better. The small arenas are helping the environment.
Yeah,
they look a lot better. They're up to 13,000. I have 12,800, but it's semantics.
Yeah.
Plenty of time.
Give or take.
I think they're going to do okay. I do think they're on an incline now. That it's not this doom and gloom that people were putting out there. They made some corrections. The smaller, unique venues are helping. They're sticking to their plan. Everybody's healthy for the most part. Yeah. So let's see what happens.
This is from Paul Anthony Moss. Do you think MJF Hurt Syndicate angle could lead to MJF reforming his old MLW faction of Dynasty with Hammerstone and Holiday? Or is he best solo?
I think he's best solo.
But I did like him having the Pinnacle.
No, not the Pinnacle. It was a Pinnacle, right? Conglomeration? No.
It was a
Pinnacle. No. Pinnacle was MJF.
Yeah.
The Firm.
The Firm.
Well, what was the Pinnacle was MJF, right? Wardlow, FTR.
Yes. It was the Pinnacle, and what was the other name? He had two different groups.
Yeah.
God, I forgot.
Pinnacle was the first one.
Yeah.
Wardlow, FTR,
and the Firm. Yeah.
Wardlow, FTR, and Sean Spears, right?
Yeah.
And then who was in the Firm?
Foxy Brown, AZ, Nas, Nature.
Yep.
I think that's it.
MG, do you remember who was in the Firm?
Yeah, I think that's it.
I'm looking it up.
Good memory.
Right now.
Wow.
Good memory.
Oh.
Dr. Dre produced that album.
Wow. Let's see. Armand asks when Eddie
Cormega was in it. Yeah.
Armand asks when Eddie Kingston returned, does he join the Death Riders?
Okay, Eddie Kingston.
Yeah.
What is he going to return as?
Right.
He looks like a retired sanitation worker at this point.
I would love it if he returned as the anti-Moxley.
As like the anti. I love that dude. I want him to just do random New York gimmicks.
Same here.
I want him to come in with like a local 3 jacket.
Yes.
No, he was part of a local. Yeah, he did do that actually. Yeah. He fucking did do that. Yeah. What was it? Steam Fitters Union?
I think so.
Can I pitch an idea?
Yeah, give me one.
Okay, he comes back, teams up with MJF. MJF turns him into a Long Island boy, and he becomes like the right to censor.
Oh my God!
Cleans him up.
He becomes gentrified.
Yeah. Cleans him up.
Yeah.
Oh my God! He's hanging out in Rockville Center, going to press,
and that's MJF's new heavy.
Oh my God!
When was the last time you went to Rockville Center?
My mother-in-law lives around there, so
okay.
I'm in Limbrook all the time, Valley Stream, Limbrook. I hate the South Shore.
Do
you know that? Do you know that about me?
I know that.
I'm a North Shore boy.
Big Bill Stokely, the Ass Boys, and Ethan Page were the Firm.
Big Bill Stokely, the Ass Boys, and Ethan Page. Okay.
Thank you, Cadillac Carson. Hassan Albana asks, when can we expect a DMD return on Dynasty?
I don't know. I don't know where she is.
Or can we expect a DMD return?
I don't know. I've asked, and everybody gets very quiet about her.
Mm-hmm. Does WBD still have plans for a pay-per-view feature on Max?
Yes.
If so, will it be available in time for All In? I want that discounted price.
I was always told February, and I guess, but it's programming, and its logistics with that stuff, and I have no idea. But yeah, they are working on a pay-per-view functionality for Max. I don't know what it means though, because pay-per-view is still not part of this deal.
Yeah,
they don't have the functionality, just not on the service.
But it's so spread now, which I like.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, and that it's gonna be like that.
Yeah.
I mean, what I was told from day one was, hey, for the time being, they could go everywhere. But when we do have our feature working, they could only promote Max. They can't promote the other pay-per-view providers unless it's international. You could promote on international, but not for North America.
So fascinating. Can't believe y'all remembered Cormega being in the firm.
We're from Queens.
Very nice.
This is where we grew up.
I was blown away by that. Brian Knight, why is Andrew wearing a blue garbage bag? That's upsetting, Brian.
So upsetting. $280 fucking for this garbage bag.
It's a beautiful jacket. I love that jacket.
Such a beautiful jacket.
Andrew has the torpedo bats behind him.
Yeah, here you go. This is what the Yankees are using.
Someone watches the show.
Hold on, rub this while I do it.
Oh shit!
Rub the genie lamp while I do it.
But you're gonna go back in.
Yeah. This is how I go back in. No.
This is how I manifest it. Can you hit that noise again?
Yep.
Shit, I'm gone. Get me out of there. Open the lid. Open the lid.
Sucked in. Whoa!
Put it by the microphone. Open the lid. Dude, I need to get out of there. I need to get out of there.
The best.
Baba Booey.
Thank you.
For the rest
for the rest of you guys that only listen to the audio, we apologize.
Yeah, you guys have no idea what just happened.
The sound effects will be going away after this week anyways. So
why?
Because I'm going away.
No, you're not. Who the hell knows what you're doing?
Yeah, I thought it was remote.
Well, yeah, but how am I going to be on here while I'm supposed to be working?
Get another monitor.
You think they're going to be like, hey, what is he doing? Keep a camera on him at all hours?
Yeah.
Guys, you got cameras in your apartment now?
They don't know about your wacky sound effects.
I told them already when I spoke to them about the deal. I was like, listen, I need them on Friday mornings.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. All right, what else? And I got like 5 more minutes and I got to get out.
All right, guys, we need a couple of more questions here.
MG, you have any questions?
Bachelor 3000. If I could get a nickel for every time Cormega said Ninja Black Lexus in a rap song. Yo, why were rappers rapping about Mazda MPVs so much in the 90s?
It was the 90s, dude.
My mother had a Mazda MPV. Great sport utility vehicle.
You know what happened?
What?
All of a sudden, it went from Mazdas and Lexuses to Escalades.
Yeah.
It
changed.
It changed immediately.
Yeah. Every rap video had a Lexus.
Mm-hmm.
LS 4.5,
and then
it went to. You know who did that? You know who messed that up?
Who?
Jay-Z.
Yeah.
What's the difference between a 4.0 and a 4.6?
Yeah.
Someone in the chat room will be able to tell me that.
So, Escalades at one point.
Escalade. It went to. I want to go back. I want to go to like Mazda 626s in rap videos.
Supras
being shot in Queensbridge projects. Yeah. That's reality.
Oh yeah, 100%.
A 3 Series Beamer. Makes all the sense.
Great.
Pulling up in a Rolls Royce to Laugh Rack City makes zero sense to me.
Yeah.
Nobody in the right mind did that ever.
Wu-Tang, no cars.
No cars. They walked everywhere.
No cars. They just walked everywhere.
The ferry.
Land Cruisers. 96 Land Cruisers.
Yeah.
Love
a lot
those.
of Land Cruisers.
That's what I'm looking at, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
I'm looking at the Lexus GX 550.
Very nice.
Alex
asks, hey, guys, greetings from Athens, Greece. When I was in London, everyone expected The Rock to show up. With only 2 Raw episodes left, do you think the buildup has been underwhelming? Nah.
I think it's been okay.
He's gonna show up at some point.
I thought that promo was fantastic.
Yeah.
Between Cena and Cody.
So spicy.
Spicy. Nice.
So good. Those guys are such...
He'll show up. He'll show up in a week or two.
They're
probably
so
last week.
good at moving the crowd little by little.
Yeah.
Let's see. Paul Anthony Moss has All In being placed in July on the AEW calendar killed the buzz for Double or Nothing. That used to be the premier pay-per-view for them.
I think moving it out of Vegas, I think that show last year didn't. They realized last year they needed to get out of Vegas, and they also needed to move All In away from All Out.
Yeah.
So it's just placement. You know, you just reclassify things, and
Right. Yeah.
Double or Nothing is not as much of a big deal because now you have All In.
And also you have just the name of it.
Yeah,
The perception of a name that says All In makes you think bigger, you know?
I think they need to go to gimmick pay-per-views.
Oh, yeah.
Like Blood and Guts should be a pay-per-view. No,
Buzzsaw Beach Day or something.
yeah. They need to go. They need to go to that. They need.
Oh, jeez.
I was thinking like nobody has pulled off a Rumble
No.
outside of WWE.
Tough.
And to be honest with you, if you look at their key indicators for WWE, like their analytics,
Yeah.
they've always had this. Even before like analytics became a thing in sports, they always knew that the Royal Rumble was your entry path into pro wrestling.
Yes.
If you're a kid and you're sitting there and you're watching this thing, and every 90 seconds some wacky guy is coming out,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, okay. Like it's constant attention grabbing.
Right. Yeah.
AEW needs that.
And sometimes it's not even 90 seconds.
It's Titan time.
Sometimes
They make their
it's
own.
like 32 seconds.
They make their own time.
I watched a bunch of them with Tony before the Rumble, and he was keeping time. And like some of them were just like 32 seconds. What the
yeah. It
fuck's
bounces
going on?
all over the place.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So, just in the theme of today, if you guys could book anybody to throw out the first pitch today, who would you book?
For the Mets.
Yeah,
Stone Cold
anybody.
Steve Austin.
What? Has Vince ever thrown a baseball?
I
man.
imagine.
He
I
probably pull a
imagine
quad.
both his legs explode.
Trump's got a good arm on him.
Does he?
Yeah.
You throw a
Yeah,
real.
dude, you got to see it.
Got a real rocket
that,
on him?
That lunatic has a great arm on him.
I don't know. Are you talking about anybody in general, or just like from the world of professional wrestling?
Anyone in general.
Liza Minnelli? That's my answer.
Yeah, there you go, Liza Minnelli.
I want her to razzle dazzle
Just an
us
old
and then
lady.
throw it. Just an old lady throwing the ball.
I don't know. You know, that's a good question. Jerry
Yeah.
Seinfeld.
Jerry Seinfeld, great.
He probably did back in the day.
As far as a wrestler goes, I mean, it should be MJF.
Yeah.
Why isn't MJF throwing the first pitch?
Big Bill.
Big Bill, another Queens boy.
MJF
Half that
just
roster's
did one
from Long
somewhere
Island.
else, I think.
MJF did the Texas Rangers game.
Yeah.
This is from Mark L. You boys come into town here in Texas. Can I hang with you and be your chauffeur?
I would love
Sure,
that.
yeah. That'd be
I would
great.
love that.
Yes, but you have
My
to
brother
make
lives in
Andrew walk
Texas.
8 miles.
Yeah, in his fucking Louboutins.
It was only
in
2
my
mi- it was
fucking
only 2 miles.
Louboutins. Okay, in my Louboutins.
It was only 2 miles.
and it was only 2 miles. Yeah, they're running a show out of there. You know that? The
Where?
Virgin. Didn't they
Really?
run? Who's running the Virgin Hotel?
Great.
That was a great little
Great
boutique
hotel.
hotel. That was a
Great
nice
hotel.
little, except for the fact that I was in a whole different wing than you.
It was so wild. I always think about that. When we went
And I
to,
got so angry, I upgraded my fucking room. Remember that?
what was it, SummerSlam?
Yeah.
SummerSlam, yeah.
SummerSlam 2021, we stayed at the Virgin Hotel, which was just redone. And I was in Tower 1, and you were in Tower 2.
Yeah.
'Cause you paid for the upgrade.
I
right?
got the suite.
So
Yeah.
you got like a little extra bedroom.
Yeah.
Even though my
room was huge.
huge.
Yeah.
My room was half the size of my apartment in New York. And it legit took 18 minutes to get from my room
To me.
down to the lobby,
Yeah.
across the lobby, and up to you.
Yeah, that was not a.
That's how massive that place is.
Yeah, and it's
You know?
not. It's not massive. It was actually very small. It's a boutique hotel.
No, you're wrong. That's a giant fucking hotel.
Comparatively, I'm
Jonathan,
saying.
Jonathan,
long
giant
walk.
hotel.
It was a
Yeah.
long walk. Yeah.
It was a long walk.
We had to
yeah.
take a break.
Yeah, you had to
We
stop.
did.
He
We
got
stopped and gambled.
dehydrated. He got dehydrated to carry him. We had to see all the booties in the pool.
And then you were down.
I was very ill.
You were all the way on the other side of the hall from the elevator. It was like a 100
Yeah.
yard dash to.
Yeah, I wanted to be
the
away from
elevator.
everybody.
You know what? Compared to the giant hotels in Vegas, yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm comparing
Yes,
it to. Yeah,
yes,
like if you compare
yeah.
it to like Resorts World
Yeah, yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever.
What was the hotel that we walked through to get back?
MGM?
No,
Caesar?
It
Mandalay
wasn't-
Bay.
Mandalay
Yeah,
Bay is
huge, massive.
Is massive.
Yeah.
Which wrestler from the 80s or 90s would you not want on your volleyball team? Bastion Booger.
Vader.
You don't want Vader on your
No.
volleyball team?
Ooh, I don't want him doing this.
I feel like he was built to do that.
He has crab hands, that man. Have you watched Dark Side of the Ring?
No, not yet.
I want to see Ludwig Borga and I
Yeah.
want to see Vader.
Well,
It's-
Ludwig Borg
it's
just came
really
out this
good.
week,
Yeah,
right?
I'm going to watch it with Jess
It's
tonight.
I thought you were gonna watch
I
it right
watched it.
I'm watching it right now. Hold on. Let's put it on.
And Vader's is tonight? MG?
Tuesday.
Or did that air already?
Tuesday.
So only the Ludwig Borga one aired.
Yeah.
All right.
No. And Ludwig Borga and Hell in a Cell.
Hell in a Cell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
I think that does
End
it for
it there.
questions.
Is that it for questions? No more?
We're at an hour straight. Let's.
We ran an hour straight. Okay, boys and girls.
Beautiful.
This was a blast. Enjoy the pay-per-view this weekend. Enjoy SmackDown tonight. I'm going to work. I may end up at Citi Field on the way back.
Mm-hmm.
We'll find out. Let's go Mets.
Go
All right,
Mets.
guys. See you all next time. Bye-bye for now.